Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special edition of the Open Mic Show. We have a very special show for you today. We have a young man, a remarkable young man doing some remarkable stuff in the community to help save lives, if possible, and to help, develop the whole medical system in the BVI. Of course, some of you have heard him, heard his name out there in the media about some of the work he's been doing. Before I say who he is, I'm sure you can guess. He's been selling water and going out to the community and raising funds on some of his own initiative. So he's here tonight. He's here today. We want to welcome him. I want you guys to sit back and relax and listen to this young man and offer your support. It's very important. The work that he's doing is going to benefit the entire BVI. So again, welcome, good evening, young fella. Tell the folks your name.
Good afternoon. I am Jaheel Cameron.
Jaheel Cameron.
Yes.
Brother Cameron, you're from Seacoast Bay?
Yeah.
All right. I think I know your grandfather. Is it Romeo and Fernando Cameron?
Yeah, them.
Okay, so you're a community boy.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So obviously we've been reading about you. We hear about you. You're doing some really good work. Tell the people a little bit about why you decided to get into this. Why are you doing this?
Well, sometime last year in September, I had a seizure. Then I went to the People's Hospital in town, and they didn't have the correct machine for me, so they told me to go back home, and if it happened again, they would refer me to St. Thomas. When it happened again, and I went to, well, they said I should go to St. Thomas, but I went to Miami. And in Miami, I was there for a week. They put me on this machine named the EEG machine. It's like a machine that tests the brain functions. So when I came back and I was all better, I talked to my pastor at St. George's Primary School, at St. George's Church, and he told me I could sell water after church service on Sundays. Then I started selling water on Sundays, and then I started to sell on Saturdays by Scotiabank at the post boxes.
So let me ask you, so you had a problem?
Yes.
A seizure. And because of that, you went to the hospital, realized that maybe the help that you need, they didn't have it at the time.
Yeah.
And your effort was to go out and try to help.
Yeah.
And that's why you're doing this.
Yeah.
So you go to St. George's.
Yeah.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
You're 10 years old, and you're doing something like this.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What grade are you in?
I'm in grade 5.
Nice. So you're setting the trend for a lot of young people your age. You have any help from the community, from young people coming out, maybe trying to join your fight?
Yeah, some of my friends from St. George's, Tiara, her friend Kira, and Miss Ruth, her mom, they come out every Saturday to help me sell the water.
Okay, so you definitely have. Oh, I think I know Miss Ruth. You guys sometimes sell across from Scotiabank.
Yeah.
Well, just so you know, I have bought a few bottles, okay? And I'm going to buy some more. So the machine itself, it monitors brain function and so forth. So they're able to maybe help in figuring out what's wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you feel better? You're on a good track right now. How much money have you so far turned into government?
$7,000 I've already given to the People's Hospital.
So you have already raised $7,000.
Yes.
Any more in the pipeline right now?
Yes, about 2,400.
So that would be almost 9,400 so far.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think I heard in the news recently the Minister for Health, Mr. Ronnie Skelton, has also pledged about $5,000.
Yeah.
So you by yourself, because of your effort, is now probably what, $12,000, $13,000 in the bank.
That's in the bank right now.
Well,
he hasn't.
Well, he hasn't given it to you, but he
Yeah.
pledged, and once he pledged,
Yes.
he will do it. But
Yeah.
I'm saying your effort so far, If you had all that money in house right now, you would be about $13,000, and that's a milestone. You know what I mean? Do you know what the overall cost of the machine is?
Yes, it's 23,000.
23,000. So if you get that five, Brother Skelton, I'm sure he'll be watching this show. So he'll definitely bring that money up because he has it, you know, he has a lot of money in the bank, and he'll probably do, once he say he's gonna do it, he'll do it. Okay, so that's a good effort. Any other fundraising activity coming up?
Yes, I'm putting on this concert at the Eileen Parsons Auditorium at the college. It's the lineup is B. Moore, Monique Chapdelaine, Sandra Pemberton, Deanna Watley, BVI Heritage Dancers, the Miracle Touch Steel Orchestra, and other people who have volunteered to come and show their talents at my concert.
So you're putting on a concert. Of course, you have a little help from your parents and other folks in the community, but you have all these volunteers who are performers, singers, dancers, and they have all decided to volunteer because of your effort and put this concert on. When is the concert, you know?
It's June 20th.
June 20th.
Yes.
From what time to what time?
5 to 9.
5 to 9. Are you going to be doing the singing or anything?
No, I'm co-hosting with Mr. David Archer.
So you're going to be co-hosting the whole entire event?
Yeah.
That's a lot. With Mr. Archer too?
Yeah.
Okay, you know Mr. Archer, he's going to keep you talking. You ready for it?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, that's a very, you know, important thing you're doing. Is this something that you really want to do moving forward after this task is done, to just continue to volunteer in the community and do things for other people? Because you're doing this not just for yourself, you're doing it for the whole BVI.
Yeah. When I was done with donating to the hospital, I was going. Me and my grandmother was thinking of donating to the Red Cross, and after the Red Cross, we would probably go. Well, I am a volunteer at the Red Cross, yes, and I would probably donate to the National Boys Choir so we could travel to the islands. And I was thinking, because I go to St. George's, and they want to refurbish the playground, so I was going to donate to them too.
Wow. So you're thinking about school, you're thinking about the community, the hospital. You know, next time I have you on this show, I want to see about 5 or 6 other kids around you. You make sure you bring all your cousins and all your friends, who's helping you in this effort. We want to see them as well. Bring them in, because what you're doing is remarkable. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is an awesome thing. Now I want you to, before we close, I want you to look into that camera and tell the rest of the BVI, you know, tell them to get on board. Tell them that how important this machine is, why it's necessary, and again, just reiterate why you're doing this.
Well, this machine, it's not only for epilepsy, it's for other disorders too. It's for sleep disorders, strokes, and other illnesses. So this wouldn't be only going to children with epilepsy and big people with epilepsy. It could have saved someone else's life who doesn't have epilepsy. So I just invite the whole public to come to see this concert. And please pledge. Please.
That's right. That's
yes.
right. Awesome. Well, keep up the good work, okay?
Yes.
All right, keep up the good work. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have someone from the hospital to give us another overview on the machine, the reason for the machine, and how important the machine is to our medical system in the BVI. So stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we had Mr. Cameron on earlier, telling us a little bit about his situation. What a remarkable young man. He's out there in the street, you know, with a little bit of help and support and push. He's doing the things that a lot of us, including myself, should be out there doing, volunteering, you know, raising fund, you know, being a part of a community that we live and we love and we want to support. And I'm going to encourage you guys out there. As you watch this show, you saw him earlier, you see his effort. Let's all try to do our part. Whatever you can do, no matter how little it is, let's try to do it. As we continue, I have a very lovely young lady. I say young because she's older than I am, but I don't want to say old lady because she's not. Very lovely lady, professional, someone at the hospital who's going to give us a little bit more information on the machine, the need for the machine, and the hospital services that are available to folks who might need that service. So welcome, Ms. Smith, Ms. Malone Smith.
Good evening, or good day, actually. I'll say good day.
Good day.
Thanks for having me here to talk about the EEG machine. And Jaheel, what a remarkable young man. I met him a couple months ago when he first came to the hospital to do a donation, and I said to him then, you have done my heart proud. My position is that he makes me feel good about the future of the BVI.
Yes.
Because if this young man can step up at 10 years old and fight for a cause, oh my goodness, if we encourage the other young people, where will we go?
That's right,
He's
right.
like I said this morning on another station, he's 100% of our future. And we need to support that kind of behavior and encourage it among the other young people. I hope they take a page from his book and go forth and find a cause and fight for it.
Yeah, well, he outlined at least two cause, two concern in the back of his mind that he's already thinking about.
At 10.
At 10. So I think it is a remarkable story, and somebody, need to write that story so it can go global. But tell us a little bit about your role at the hospital.
I am the Director of Hospital Services, so the day-to-day management of the hospital itself, and the care regarding complaints, compliments, how do we go about doing what we do, monitoring and reviewing of equipment orders. I've been actively involved in that. And the new equipment as it comes in, we test it, we trial, we negotiate prices, then we purchase. Those are the kind of things that I've been involved in for the last year to 18 months at the new BVI HSA.
That's great. So definitely the machine is a necessity.
Yes.
It's needed.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the machine.
So what the machine does is it monitors brain function and brain wave activity. And when Jaheel presented to the hospital the first time with a history of having a seizure, we were sure he had a seizure, but to confirm the diagnosis, the EEG is needed, and we didn't have an EEG. That's why he was told that the next time it happens, we will refer you out to confirm the diagnosis. Because if he'd had a seizure one time and it may have been a one-off, then because that has been known to happen in where a patient may have one seizure and it never happens again. But to confirm a diagnosis of epilepsy, you need the EEG machine. So we had no capacity because we didn't have an EEG machine, and he was referred out. He ended up going to Miami and having the EEG done, confirming that he did indeed have epilepsy. And what it does is it allows us to then decide what kind of treatment plan are we going to give you based on what the EEG reveals. Like he said, it can use sleep studies. You're not sleeping well. You have what we call sleep apnea. We can figure out do you really have that? What's causing that to happen? Which part of the brain is not functioning the way it should function? So that when we decide to intervene, we know exactly where we're going. That's the kind of information that we can gather from the EEG machine. Alzheimer's, early onset dementia, we can confirm those kind of diagnoses using the EEG machine. So it is necessary, and it will become a vital part of the BVI HSA arsenal of services that we provide to the community. And along with having the EEG machine, one of the things we're going to have to do is train up one of our staff to become an EEG tech. So that's a job that's going to be created based on having that machine in the building.
That's a job and a career.
It is a career.
Because that sounds like a specialty something.
It is specialty. And so we're looking at our staff that's in-house and saying, who in the building we think have the capacity to get the training to take, once we have the machine in-house, to use it the way it needs to be used. So we are working on that in the background in the meantime.
Good. So far he has at least $7,000 in the bank that he has turned over to you guys, another $2,400, and then we have another pledge of $5,000 by the Honorable Minister himself.
And while we were on the radio this morning, we got another pledge of another $1,200 to $1,500
Wow.
from different people who listened to him this morning and was moved by what he had to say. So he's a young man on the move.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then having the concert, and I want everybody to come to the concert. It's only $10. I thought that was a little
Low?
a little low, yes, considering the
Yeah.
the cadre of people that he's gotten to volunteer and be a part of this.
Yes, yes.
Yes, tickets are $10, but if you want to come to the door and pay $20, it will not be turned down because this is for a great cause.
That's right. And you never know when either one of us might need the machine.
Exactly. If not me, my loved one.
Yeah.
My position about being at home and having the hospital is this isn't just for me, it's for everybody in the community. And I bring my family there. So
Yeah.
I would like to have the services that they require available.
Now, is there like a large number of people who need the machine?
The truth of the matter is we're not quite sure exactly how many need the machine because we refer out now.
Okay.
But what I do know for sure is if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
And there are people who if we want the machine, if we had the machine, we would do the testing.
Yeah.
That we try probably other options currently because we don't have the machine on the ground. The machine on the ground will give us an extra tool to use.
That's right.
For patients.
That's right. So there'll be no second guess anymore.
Exactly.
Once you have it. Okay. Well, that makes a whole lot of sense. So we have the concert coming up.
Yes.
Obviously, the folks at the hospital is pushing that.
Yes.
The whole community is pushing it, and we want everybody to come out and be a part of that.
Yes.
Tickets are $10, but we're asking you to donate $15 and $20. You guys have it. BVI has a lot of money. So come out with that money, pledge. It's for a worthy cause. And as Ms. Malone Smith said, the machine isn't just for epilepsy. It brain function.
Brain
you
function.
know, I've heard of stories just recently of people blanking out. You know what I mean?
You can test for why that's happening.
You
with
can
the
test for
machine.
why that's happening. So all of these different symptoms that people are experiencing and they're not sure where it's coming from, this is another tool in that fight.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to offer as far as the machine, the hospital services? I can see you guys are doing a wonderful job down there. Any other machine, any other equipment we need now while we have the attention of the folks that we can start lobbying for that money?
Wow. Well, we do have an arm of the BVI Health Services Authority. It's called the Friends of the BVI HSA. It's our charitable trust arm that we're using as a driver to raise fund for equipment.
Okay.
For any new equipment that we need. And there's plenty of new equipment because when the new hospital was built, we had to make some choices about what we were going to put in first. And yes, we put in all the stuff that is the basic stuff that a basic hospital needs. But there are other things that we will need to take us to the next level.
Okay.
We have ultrasound. We would like 4D ultrasound.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it'll take you to the next level.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things we're looking at. We have fetal monitoring. Because of my training, I would like central monitoring.
Okay.
There's a cost associated with that. That it's not necessarily something that you have to have right now, but it would allow you to provide more efficient care.
Gotcha.
So there's a whole list of things. So if anybody has any questions about what's available on the list and what they might be able to contribute to, give me a call, 852-7511. Miss Allison Foy will find me in the building. It's magic. I'm not sure how she does it, but she can find me anyway. She's my assistant.
So you must have one of those Magic Jack pages
She has
on your
something,
site.
because Allison can find me no matter where I am. And I said, how did you know I was over here? She's like, not a problem. I need you now. So,
Yeah.
so call 852-7511, and Allison will get in contact with me. Or you can call 852-7655. That is Miss Franca Potter, our public relations and communications person.
Good.
And she can give you the information about how we'll go about accepting pledges.
Yeah.
Because one of my positions is pennies make dollars, so we take whatever you offer.
Every drip in the bucket
That's
fully.
right. We prefer
Yeah.
the kind that folds, but we'll take the kind that jingles.
Well, let me ask you just a question off the wall real quick, since you're the one in charge of this area. Eye care. When are we getting to that stage where...
Actually, we're in negotiations.
You're in
with a
negotiation.
couple ophthalmology groups about
Okay.
what we can and can't offer currently and what we'd like to see happening in the future. Because we're looking to bring more and more specialty services in so people don't have to go out.
Absolutely.
But while we're talking about that, I need people to understand that all these things have a cost associated with them.
That's right.
And we need to get to the place of understanding that The government can't do it by itself. It has to be us coming together to make it, as a community, to make it happen. Public-private partnerships. When I receive a service, paying for that service, those things have to happen so that we can continue to provide the services we want. Everybody wants excellent service, and we aim to provide excellent service, but it all has a cost associated with it. When I think about the equipment that we've purchased to date and the costs associated with them, nothing is free.
Yeah.
Nothing is free. The EEG machine by itself is $23,000, and that's a negotiated price.
Yeah. And then when you have it here, it's still a cost to run it and take care of it and maintenance.
So I'm excited about the fact that in the past we didn't necessarily have biomedical technician specific. We had a group of guys in facilities that took care of our equipment. But now we have 2 young BVI landers that are all biomedical technicians. They went to school just for medical equipment and came back home.
That's awesome.
And are in charge of our biomedical department, and they do an extremely good job. Kareem Pickren and Candace Rapsat. They are doing fabulous.
Both of them are Eastern names.
They sure are. I hadn't thought of that.
Well, Bargers Bay and Eastern, Pickren and Rapsat.
Yeah, so they're doing fantastic. And so there's so many different jobs that are opening within the BVI HSA, but they all require training.
Yeah, yeah, of course. But we want you guys to continue to push BVI landers, getting them in those areas, and so eventually it's a BVI thing. It's a BVI thing. So let's just recap real quick. So we have the concert coming up.
Yes.
We're still
June 20th at 5 p.m. Eileen Parsons Auditorium.
Great. And the purpose of that is to raise some more funds.
More funds.
We need some more funds. At
EEG
least another
machine.
20 grand. That would buy another machine.
Or the training necessary for my tech that we're going to have.
That's right. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Support the cause.
Yes.
If you don't have a lot of money, you can always drive by Scotiabank during Saturdays and Sundays. The guys are there selling water. Pick up 2 or 3 bottles. You'll drink it eventually. So donate. The concert is coming up on June 20th at Miss Parsons Auditorium at the HLSCC. It's $10 for the ticket at the door, but if you want to pledge $15, $20, $40, $60, whatever it is, I know you have money. BVI has a lot of money. We can see it in the air right now. So come on out and support this worthy cause. It's a great, great cause. One of us might need it. It might be me. It might be you. Let's not wait until we need it and then go, we don't have it. Let's try to get it and do what's necessary.
Yes.
So thank you again, Ms. Malone Smith, for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, awesome. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned again for another wonderful show, the Open Mic Show. Thank you for watching.